Welcome everybody. It's alive, but it's not Wednesday. It's Monday. And I wanted to come on here because I wanted to take advantage of the full moon energy. We are at 100% as of right now. And if you want to feel that energy, go out there, because I just was out there and there's like it's misty out. And so there's like a kind of a misty ring around the moon. So I'm just going to shuffle and yammer on until we get some more people. I did not advertise. Hello, Chantal. How are you doing? It's been a while. How was everybody's Christmas? The last live that I did, we talked about how to get through triggers. Hello, Justin. And I hope that was helpful for some. I had an injury. So, hello, Nick. So, Christmas was pretty low, low energy for me. I didn't get to do a lot of what I wanted. Not a lot of socializing. I kind of just camped out on couches in my recliner. Didn't go much. Didn't go a lot of places. So the first thing I'm going to do is I want to do the energy thing. We don't do this enough, and I always forget. So grab your favorite essential oil. I have one that I made, and I wish I would have wrote down what is in here, but I call it Intuitive Blend. And grab some of your crystals. My go-to is orange selenite. And I always have, it's good to have just regular selenite because that's a protective stone. Another good protective stone is snowflake obsidian. This is, what is this? This is rainbow. Oh, what is this? 1 second. I just had it. This one is, where'd it go? It's rainbow something. Rainbow moonstone. This one right here. Rainbow moonstone. And one I wanted to show you guys that is really cool. I got it from a friend. And I believe it is, it's rainbow. Had it on the tip of my tongue. It's rainbow tourmaline. Oh, hello, William. So these, and like digital is, you know, not the best to be showing crystals here, but this is like, see that like purple stripe through there? Okay. And then you've got this. So like rainbow tourmaline is just so varied and diversified with all the different colors. And you've got a part of it that's like all pink, mostly pink. And then this one almost looks agate-y because it's got purple, and then it's got like a dark burgundy. But all this is like from the same stone, all these different colors. Isn't that cool? All right, so I'm just gonna make a little grid here. So if you've been watching me, you know that we do like finding your energy. I haven't done it in a while, so I'm going to do it tonight. Now, this is a great, I promote this for anybody at any time, morning, during the day, or night before bed. But I've even remembered to practice it during like anxiety or panic attacks. Because what it does is it calms down your nervous system. Okay? So, hello, Mindy. So what we're going to do, and the reason I said to grab your lotion or your oil is just because it makes your hands kind of slippery, and you can like, you know, do this more if they're a little bit lubricated, I should say, but you don't have to. Okay, it's plus when they get hot and it's in front of your face, it's like a nice therapeutic. Okay, so if you've never done this before, we're going to find our energy. All right, and you're going to feel it. So what I want you to do is just sit here like this, and we're going to take 3 deep breaths. And as you inhale, you're going to inhale confidence and just be in that moment. And when you exhale, you're going to exhale all the worries, all the complications of the day, and all the doubts. All right, so inhale confidence, exhale doubt. We're going to do that 3 times. Really feel your breath. Really fill the belly with breath. Feel your body kind of letting go. Shoulders should be relaxing. Let everything go just for this 30-40 minutes. All right? And continue to take some more deep breaths if you choose. But I want you to set an intent, something that you're thankful for, and then something that you would either like an answer to, or that you would like assistance, or that you would just need help like releasing it or receiving it. Okay, let's just take another little break. Tap in to your soul, to your heart space. And if you are totally lost and you don't know what to ask for, that's okay. You can still practice gratitude. You can still thank the universe for something. And then you can just ask for whatever is for your highest good. Okay. Now that we've practiced our gratitude and we've set our intent, we're going to focus. The only thing we're going to focus on is our energy. We are all energetic beings. We are all connected to everything and everyone. Okay, so take your hands together if you're able to. If you're not able to, you can imagine that you are doing this. Okay? You can see how I'm doing it like this, or you can go back and forth. It doesn't make a difference. Just make some friction. Feel it. Just concentrate in this moment. In this moment, we are making friction and some heat and finding our energy. And just keep going. It's going to warm up. That's good. That's good. Once I get hot, I want you to stop and then imagine your energy is in this invisible ball. And maybe for some of you, you can actually see the energy. And now, try to play with that energy. I can feel it right here. And I can feel it down here and on the tips of my fingers. And wherever you feel it, that's fine. Just focus on what you feel in this moment. And if you don't feel anything, that's fine too. There is no judgment. You feel that? Let me do the camera. You guys feel that? Some of your energies might be out here. And this always, hello Jaden. This always reminds me, anytime I do this, it always reminds me of this toy that I don't know who made it. My dad taught us it, but I think it even came from generations before that. But you take a button and you put thread or yarn or some kind of string through the holes, and then you spin it and you make like a tight, like it's, how do you explain it? It's like a tight spring action. And then you like do this, and then the button will like spin back and forth, and it's the coolest thing. I'm going to make one. I'm going to make one and show you, because I have buttons and I have threads. So I'm going to make one, and the next time I will show you what I'm picturing in my head. But you can feel it. Can you feel the energy? Like, bring it out even farther. You can't see my hands, but bring it out even farther and play with it. Like, can you feel that? That is your energy. And this is a great technique to do if you're just stuck in your head and you're anxious and you're nervous and you might be having like a panic attack or an anxiety attack, or you're, you know, for whatever other health things, if you're having like, you know, sometimes an asthma attack or a coughing spell or a sneezing spell, anything, you're trying to catch your breath, anything to calm your nervous system. Isn't that cool? I learned this years ago, and it just like, it's still like, I don't know, it just excites me because I can feel it. Isn't that cool? I love it. Bring it out. Whoa. Yeah. Ooh. All right. Okay. If you would like, keep working on this energy. If you need to start over with your intent and your breathing, go for it. I am going to pull cards. So I have a couple decks out here. I probably won't get to them all, but that's okay. I'm just going to run with it. You know how it goes. We're real and raw here. The first thing I want to do, this is not random, but the first thing I want to do is I want to read from this book, the Moonology. This is one of my favorites, one of my oldies but goodies. And it has the new moons in like the horoscopes, the zodiac signs. It also has the full moon in the zodiac signs, and then some extra ones. So I have the full moon today, tonight, as of right now, is 100% in Cancer. So I'm just going to show you the card. It's the crab. Cancer is crab. And here it looks bluish. It might look kind of purplish to you. And it says, a personal issue reaches resolution. And isn't that awesome for full moons? Because like the full moon, when I think of a full moon, and I'll get to the reading, I'll get to the book. When I think of a full moon, I think of something that has taken its time to get to fruition, to be complete. And so if there's something that has been egging on you since Christmas or in the last 2 weeks when we were at the new moon, you know, something that you're thinking about or working on or asking about, it's kind of like, okay, this is at the biggest, most impacted moment right now is in the full moon. So whatever the deal is, if it's good or if it's negative or positive, and even the negative is still positive because everything happens for a reason. So if what you're going through is, it's kind of like it has come to like a blister or a head, all right? And that makes total sense with a personal issue reaches resolution. So there's going to be a solution. There's going to be something resolved, you know? It's gotten so big that it's going to like, it's big, it's going to burst, it's big, it's here, it's going to bring you clarity. It's going to present itself. All right, I'm going to read from the book. Things are likely to get very heated as full moon in Cancer is a super emotional sign. So there could be something of an explosion of feelings around now or surrounding your question. It's important to be sensitive to other people when you pull this card. There are some very fine sensibilities around, so tread carefully as you move towards your goals or dreams. This card indicates an especially feminine time. It also heralds the time to deal with any family issues coming up. Nothing to worry about. It signals a challenge is now coming to an end. This card suggests both that a domestic matter or private issue will soon come to a head. And that is a great time to move house. The answer to your question lies in being a kind leader. This is the time for you to step up and agree to overcome your insecurities. That makes a lot of sense. Does anybody else experience any heightened emotions or, yes, heightened emotions around the full moon? I get very emotional. And when I say emotional, it means like I'm very, like I get sad about things. It's almost like the full moon triggers me. I start to remember and I start to think of things that I have already like previously dealt with. And it just reminds me that when I do start thinking of those things and do start feeling the way that those things make me feel, it just reminds me subtly, and I embrace every emotion that comes up. I used to get scared of it, but now I don't. I'm fully aware that full moons are going to be a little wonky for me. It just reminds me to take a little bit extra care of my self-care, give myself a little more grace, give other people a little more space and grace. I like that. Space and grace, grace for myself, and admit that, hey, I'm not 100% right now. I'm feeling really insecure about some shit, so I need some space. And that's okay. The way that we present that information to someone is key too. Meditate to soothe heightened emotions. Don't be clingy. Stop sulking. Have you had enough family time lately? The heightened emotions of the Moon Cancer combination cannot be ignored. However, Cancer is one of the Moon's 2 home signs, along with Taurus. So astrologically speaking, hello Sarah. Astrologically speaking, the moon loves to be in this sign. In fact, she rules Cancer. This means that this card, there's a sense that all is as it should be, or don't worry, all will soon be well. I really like that. I was not aware that the moon rules Cancer. Remember that. Note to self, the moon rules Cancer. Cool. All right, there's the card again. Okay. All right, so randomly picked cards. I am going to, we're going to use this card, this deck. This is my very first deck. It's by Colette Baron-Reid, the Enchanted map. She has a couple different styles. There's been like a revision, but honestly, it's not much different. I think it's just a little bit of the images are maybe like a little smaller or bigger, and the colors are maybe just a different shade. But this is one of my oldies but goodies. And I have a really strong relationship with this deck. But it's awesome because every time I use it, there's usually something new that I recognize or notice in the pictures that I have not noticed before. And if there's time allotted, I would like to do like a progressive reading. So if you've watched me before, you know that progressive readings, I progress and I stack. It's like a stacked progressive reading. So I use a different card and or a different deck to expand on the card that we did previously. So that will be the intent. And I call it like a progressive stack reading because it builds. We keep the same kind of theme. So we'll see if that happens with this deck. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Another thing about full moons is if you are a crystal enthusiast, you can put your crystals out there. Just be very protective with your selenite. Selenite will dissolve if it gets too wet. But I think you'll be fine if you either have it in like a glass container. But you want to have some of the moonlight hitting it. There's moon water that you can actually make, distilled water, but I think if you put it out, it's going to be a moon ice, but that's okay because you can bring it in and thaw it. You can use it for like, you can put it in your shampoos, you can put it in, if it's distilled and it freezes and you distill it again, as long as it's in like a protective container. Anything outside, I would always like refilter, redistill. You can use it on your face, you can drink it, in your plants. Okay, one more shuffle and then we'll get on. Full moons are great for setting intentions, journaling, manifesting. So all those things all those little self-care habits that you do during the month, and I know that Christmas time is busy, and if we don't get to them, oh, hi Lola. Full moons are great times to do that. So if you have a self-care routine that you do, if you bathe or if you journal or if you meditate, full moons are, there's never a bad time to do any of those things. But full moons, like I said, are just like that fruition time. So it's a great opportunity to get all that self-care stuff done. All right. Okay. So we're going to ask the cards to reveal what it needs to be revealed for the collective tonight during this full moon on fruition. Huh. I did, like, you watched me shuffle. I shit you not. You guys watched me shuffle. Look at that. Look at that. So it's moonlight. And the number is 51. Or 5 plus 1 is 6. So if you know your number. Okay, so there's a lot going on in this card. So we have the owl. Owls represent wisdom. And they're lucky. So if you actually see an owl, you're supposed to like kind of make a wish. I used to know what fern was, what ferns meant. So if anybody's watching, please look up, or if you're watching it at a later date, please look up the spiritual meaning of fern. There's also like a hourglass here, and a lady standing kind of with her head down, but she's holding herself with wings. And the moon almost looks like it's got like a spiraling kind of energy. Okay. What does this card tell us? What is the message? Okay, so I asked, what does this card reveal? And when I did, intuitively, I got, hold yourself accountable for your own spirals. So check it out. So I said, as I was noticing all the different things in the card, she's like holding herself with her wings, and the moon kind of has like this spiral. So hold yourself accountable for your own spiraling. And what I mean by spiraling is when we get to that mindset that's not very helpful, and we start out thinking about something and we're not able to catch ourselves. And then we just kind of like think of another not bad, unhelpful thing. We think of another unhelpful thing or a memory. And then we remember how that felt. And then we just keep spiraling. It just keeps traveling down and down and down and down until we are at that place where we're like, how did I even get here? Like, how? But once you start feeling how that feels to actually allow yourself to kind of get there, and then you get there and you're like, okay, this feels really freaking icky. It doesn't take long for you to remember the next time you start to do that, like, I don't want to do that. And then like there's like the hourglass. So like time is of the essence. Like, why wait? You need to hold yourself accountable for your own shit. But this, what they're telling me, what they're showing me, intuitively, I'm getting messages as I'm speaking and looking at this, is you have time. Like, it's interesting. We were discussing something at supper tonight. And we were talking about like when, you know, when people start to want to fix themselves and to want to do the work. And, you know, I said, it's never too late to want to change things about yourself. You just have to want to do it. You can be 30 years old. You can be 50 years old. You can be 70. You could be on your deathbed. It's never too late. And I think there's a big connection here with the fern, because it's like, okay, so like this fern here has like a foundation, like I'll call it its spine. That might not be the correct terminology for plants, but that's what I'm getting. And like the leaves are its wings. And so she is standing there, and like that's her spine, literally. That's her foundation. And she has wings. And then we have the owl of wisdom. So what's your foundation of wisdom? And do you allow your wings to spread out and to like feel what's out there versus just kind of stay in your own bubble and just keep doing the mundane over and over? Or do you want to like spread your wings and stretch your wings? Oh, I like that. I'll read from the book. I like to read from the book. What does it mean to you guys? I want to know. There are no wrong answers. Your intuition allows you to see beyond the mundane. I know this book, but I don't know it by heart. Your intuition allows you to see beyond the mundane, logical, and analytical. Follow it. Moonlight beckons. Come and trust your intuition to lead you into places that may not seem logical. Your hunches will be right on target. Resist second-guessing yourself, for your alternate perception is especially sharp right now. You can see beyond the surface of things and truly read between the lines. This is a good time to use oracle cards or other systems of divination to gain information. Systems of divination. Divination is like, it's a word like from divine. So cards, crystals, crystal ball, any kind of tool used, runes, Reiki, journaling, automatic writing, bones. Let's see, what else is there? Water, you can use water. You can read water. There's a bunch of divination tools, so that's what they mean by that. This is a good time to use oracle cards or other systems of divination to gain information. Oh, pendulums. Remember that the language of intuition is a symbolic one. It comes subtly through a hunch, a tingling, a clear sound, or an animal or object crossing your path. Spirit is sending you messages to help you now. Success is yours if you follow the signs. Oh, I like that. I like that. I like that. And I can't believe we got the moonlit card on a full moon. You guys watched me shuffle. Okay, how are we doing? Hello, Lynette. Okay, so I'm going to pull from my deck. This is the deck that I created. I had an injury 2 years ago, and I was down and out, and I couldn't do shit. I had to sit and rest for months. And during these months, I was told to take my current decks that I had, pull a card, and then journal or automatic write my perception, in my opinion, of the card and the messages. So I did this. Didn't know why I was doing it, but I did it because I was told to do it and I needed something to do with my mind. Otherwise I was going to go crazy just sitting there. So I healed, and I had always wanted to do an oracle card deck. And I even laughed about it and said to to my friends and family that I'm like, because I really like Colette Baron-Reid's style. I like the way she presents herself as a human in person. And I really like her cards. They're really easy to connect with, to relate to, resonate. And I said as a joke, oh, I'll have my own oracle card deck someday. And lo and behold, that's what Spirit told me to do. And that's why I was journaling. Didn't know it at the time. But then after the fact, I used an AI app for the images. And so now I have a deck. It is on Etsy. It is on Marketplace, I believe. I think it's on Instagram. And I sell it for $25. And I think I said for the month of December and January, I will be doing the deck and a reading for $50. All right. So, I love this deck. This deck, even, I wrote it. I don't have it memorized. And I am surprised and still amazed by how it feels new. The newness of it every time I use it. So I will promote this deck and what it means to me until I die. Till my body expires. All right. So, all right. Words to live by, Oracle card deck. What would you like to reveal to us as a collective regarding any of the energies that the full moon is presenting to us tonight? Because it's 100%. Freedom. Freedom. Take a look at that card. What do you see? The number is 11, and if you add them together, it's 2. What does that, kind of look at it, just kind of scan it, and comment like where your eyes are drawn, where, like what sensations you feel in your body. This is interesting. Like I just literally said, every time I use this book, I am drawn to something. Now, when I said that, I was drawn to like the cracks on her chest, which to me, I interpret like a broken heart. Broken heart. Why is it called a broken heart? You're not really broken. You just, I think the emotions that we feel when we are disappointed because we chose to be vulnerable. I'm using this as romantically, okay? There's other ways that our heart can be broken. Death can be a different kind of broken heart, but I'm thinking romantically. Or not, you know, what I'm feeling right now is a romantic broken heart. And, you know, with broken hearts, we feel kind of shattered because we were vulnerable. We allowed ourselves to be vulnerable with another person who we don't know what they're thinking. We can't control what they're thinking. We don't know how they're going to react. We can't control how they're going to react to life, to us, to themselves. And so when we are disappointed and something happens and our trust is broken, our emotions take over, and it feels like our heart is broken. And why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't it? When you give your all to a certain someone and you think that you got your back, and then something happens that's proved that totally opposite, it sets you back. It does set you back. So on the full moon, if you are suffering, I'll just run with this. I'll just run with it. If you are suffering from a broken heart or some kind of disappointment, remember that you have yourself, and you can free yourself from that broken heart by continuing to set boundaries, by continuing to love yourself, continuing to do one thing a day that brings you joy, and to remember that this feeling is temporary, and to embrace everything that emotion does for the body. It might make you feel stiff, and you can feel it in your joints, and certain parts of your body might not feel as limber and as soft and as flexible, or headaches. When I'm repressing, I noticed that as I went through my journey, that because I used to repress a lot of my emotions, pretty much all of them, and then I would just explode like a volcano, and that was damaging. That was damaging to people, to my loved ones around me. And I noticed that when I would get to that breaking point, I would start to feel it in my body, because I would remember like ailments and sicknesses, and being sick and being more tired and just not feeling good, and more headaches. And it feels good now in my body when I start to recognize when it is an actual serious time that something needs to be said. But I can do it now with confidence and with calmness. And that has taken me a long time to learn how to do that, but it is possible. So you can free yourself from feeling broken, because we are never broken. We might be insecure. We might be torn, but we will always heal. And even, okay, so like this is interesting as I'm talking. I'm getting, and I'll try to find it later, but maybe you guys have seen it on TikTok or Facebook, where it's an art form where they take broken objects, like broken dishes and ceramics, and they take them and then they use them like mosaically, and they use them as, like, they upcycle them and they use them as media for making, you know, like mosaics. And just think, like, something that was discarded and was broken, that can no longer be used for the original purpose of that item, like a coffee cup. You know, if when it's broke, it comes apart, you can't glue it because it's going to leak. Now that object is available to be upcycled and to be reused as something else. I like that. How does fear dictate your reactions and emotions? Does it hold you back with uncertainty and sadness, or does it push you forward with motivation and positivity? Holding back can lower your vibrational energy and keep you from healing and growing, keep you from finding your self-worth. Pushing through fear makes us stronger and wiser. Putting the past and the unknown behind you and allowing yourself to be comfortable being uncomfortable. Facing our fears puts reality into focus. Clear focus sets the path for divine direction. With an open mind and an open heart, you will find freedom. I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that. These are all good messages on a full moon. Right, Lola? She gave up. She's sleeping. Okay, I'm going to pull one more card. And then I'll do a closing card. So this is another deck that I really like. I found the original, like, travel size deck on Temu. But when you order from Temu, there's all kinds of surprises. So the original deck did not come with, oh, I love this deck. It just shuffles so nice. It did not come with a guidebook. So I ended up buying the full-blown one, and like the box is just super cool, and it's shiny. Look how shiny these are, and it's got like gold. So I really like this deck. And it's called Love Who You Are. And if you're watching, or you watch on replay, I am doing, I believe it's a free reading. It can be in person, or I wrote it down when I was doing it. Oh, here it is. Here it is. For the month of January. Yes, free reading. So I will be pulling a name. So if you're watching this on replay, and feel free to watch the one from, I think it was from December, even though it was in December. I think you can like the video. Yeah, like the video. Please share it if you can. I don't know if you can, because you have to, this is kind of a private. Okay, so I think you can like the video and then comment full moon. Okay. Comment full moon. And your name will go in for a drawing for a free reading. Okay. Whoops. Okay. So, deck, Please use me as a conduit. Continue to use me as a conduit. And send messages through me, to me, through me, for the collective. Anything revealed during this full moon fruition energy. Okay, I'm going to shuffle one more time. Okay. Tend the fragile. Tend the fragile. What does that mean to you guys? Tend the fragile. To me, that means, okay, I'm just going to blurt it because this is what's coming through. All I can think of and hear and see, hello, Amanda, is tend the fragile. So all I can think of is, and this probably is why, because it just happened to me. I got a new pair of gloves and I went to put them on and I found a piece of string and I started pulling it and pulling it. I'm like, oh my God, this isn't stopping. And I'm like, I have to stop it. Otherwise I'm going to, like, you know, destroy the glove. Luckily it was just on the tag, but I'm just like, okay, like how much if I'm going to pull this string? And I stopped and I cut it. And so that's where I'm thinking, like, tend the fragile. So, like, if you have loose ends, don't keep pulling on them. Don't keep pulling on them and see how far you can unravel them, because you're going to be there a while. Get to the source, cut it, and move on. Tend the fragile. Okay, here's the card. And that's like perfect for full moon. All those loose ends. Maybe there's a thought that you need to kind of cut and let go. Maybe there's a relationship that you need to cut ties to. Maybe maybe there's a perspective that you know, that you've been trying to wrap your head around. Maybe there's something you need to forgive. Full moons are really good for forgiveness because it brings us to that point of no return. It brings us to, like, okay, I am so miserable with the way that this is making me feel. I need to change it. I either need, you know, to let it go or to let go of how it makes me feel and allow yourself to feel a different way about it. And that comes with perspective and forgiveness. And we talked about it before with grace. Love keeps us close to the ground where we can feel the pulse of what needs tenderness, nurture, aid. Nurture, aid. When the world gets too loud, go into the wild silence of nature. Put your ear down to your soul and listen hard. That kind of grounding will nourish you and restore your wings. For when we tend to the delicate longings of our soul, we draw close to the love that we truly are. I like that. I was listening to, what is it called? It's a YouTube channel that I listen to, and she channels collective readings, and she said, oh, I wish I wrote it down at work, but it was, see if I can remember. It was something to do with if you're looking for it outside of yourself, it's not meant to be. So what it means is if you're constantly looking for the outside resources to fulfill you, then it's not meant to be. So how I took it is, okay, am I depending on too much of too many others to make me feel good, make me feel a certain way about myself and about the things that I do and say that I look? because if I am looking too much for outside feedback and outside resources, then that's not connecting with me. I need to be okay with me first. And that's like, it goes with the cliche. You can't love someone if you don't love yourself. And when you truly can accept, give yourself the grace and space, like, it becomes easier to deal with people. If you can deal with your shit and deal with yourself and admit your flaws, admit your insecurities, and deal with your emotions that come up, it makes it a lot easier to deal with other people and their shit. That's my takeaway. All right, so I'm gonna do one more deck. And this is just a closing. This is, I think this is from Gabby Bernstein. I don't know, when I say her last name, I just think of the Bernstein Bears. So this is just going to be a little closing, a little affirmation. I don't think I have any current events. I'm not doing anything. I have an injury. I'm pretty positive that I have a pinched nerve in my neck again. So I'm actually really surprised that I'm sitting here okay. Sitting here pretty comfortable considering I don't sit well at work. But I know I'm convinced it's a pinched nerve because it kind of cascades down my arm. So don't worry about me. I have physical therapy tomorrow and hoping to be having some relief from that. So that's why I've kind of been MIA, because I haven't had the drive, the energy to do readings, but I felt like in a funk, and when I get to my funks, I know what pushes me out of funks, and that is oracle cards. I'm connecting with all of you, because who doesn't need a little boost, right? Okay, so this is just a closing. I'm gonna ask that this message, it's a Monday, so I'm gonna ask that this affirmation or that this quote or this message helps the collective with the rest of the week and the rest of January. I don't have to fear my fear. I can use it as a way to get closer to love. Oh, that is so cool. I like that. I really like that. Because when we are in fear mode, we don't see the things that are like right in front of us. And this is from experience. When we can allow ourselves to kind of sit in our muck and ask ourselves, why am I feeling this way? Why does this bother me? What is really going on? What is the deeper message? Chances are that person that you're mad at is not who you're mad at. They might have said something that made you mad at the moment, that was disrespectful or that triggered you, or that may be just a lot of reality. All of reality is just the way that we perceive it. And the way that we perceive things is the way that we've been conditioned. This life and past lives. When I had my carpal tunnel surgery, I know that when I had that surgery, that was a part of my past life as a witch that really needed to be forgiven. I really needed to forgive myself for feeling ashamed of what that meant back then. And that even though it was considered taboo at the time, I still had people that cared about me. I still had people that believed in me. I still had people that supported me. And so it really reminded me, having to gone through that past life regression, it really reminded me of, I have those things now. I never lost them. I never lost them. Hello, Lisa. If you're just joining on, feel free to do replay. There's a lot of good information that we did. We pulled 4 cards from 4 different decks. Yeah, it made me realize like how much we do carry over, how much karmic conditioning we do carry over, and how much, you know, continuously you need to work on yourselves and just continue to let shit go. Really, forgive, grace, space, let it go, move on, find joy. And as I say that, I'm reminded of something that I did today. And I was outside at work, and there was this pallet. And it was a longer pallet of wood, and the fresh fallen snow was uninterrupted. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, oh, that is like a, what do you call it? It's like a fresh canvas. It's like a virgin canvas. Hello, sister. And so I went over there, and I took my finger and I wrote love in the snow, and then I put like 2 hearts around it. And I know it sounds cheesy, but I was struggling today with my pain, and I'm just like, yeah, like that's what the world needs right now, is just a little more love. So somebody may see it, they might not, depending on, you know, how far they get to that palette at work. But I seen it, I did it, and it was just, I don't know, it just made me giggle inside. I felt like a little kid, and like I left my mark on the world. So if you're watching this now or replay, remember that I'm doing a free reading drawing. So please comment in the comments full moon, and I will put your name in for the drawing at the end of January. I do readings. Travis does Reiki. We do them together. I have things for sale on Etsy. So my Etsy page is Third Crow Energies, and I can make just about anything that you want me to make, except like with wood. I like to make stuff out of stuff, like with cards and beads and paper and paint. So check out my Etsy page. Hello, Carrie Jo Green. I am signing off. Make sure you hit replay and follow the prompts. I will see you all in the next video. Thank you for watching. Good night.